Hi folks, well like acrylics, I make my watercolours up as I go along. This is a piece of £130 weight Fabriano. It's a studio practice paper, so it's not a quality. It's got about 30% wood pulp, rag content, and the rest is cellulose, wood pulp. It's a good paper when you get used to it, but I haven't done much watercolour painting for a while. So what I do first is just give it a wet. It's a beautiful day in London at the moment. Not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just perfect. Been on the bike ride this morning with my pals. Usual bike ride, it's about 12 miles there and back. It's not a lot, but it keeps the old bones in working order. And so right, let's give that a bit of the usual palette, except I'm using this cadmium yellow light. I think that's what it is. It's Jackson's quality paper, artist quality paint. What's the? I did have it now. I'll probably chucked it in the box, in my watercolour box. Never mind. It's a beautiful paper. It's extremely, being artist quality, it's extremely powerful. So I'm just waiting for that just to dry off a bit. I'll put a bit of a sienna wash. I'll do a water scene, a tidal scene, something like that. Let's just put that in. Go right to the corners with it, because the clips they sort of take up a bit of painting, especially when you want to put it in a mount that is just about big enough without those corners. So fill those in. Okay, so there we are. Now put a sky in, nice ultramarine. I could even use a bit of alizarin in that. Just got to loosen the colours a bit. Now, that's not strong enough. Being right-handed, I usually work from right to left. I can put a little bit of light red in there. Strengthen that blue up a little bit. You can work on this paper for about a minute before it starts fighting back. Just going to bit of shadow, a bit of a cloud in there. Just let that settle. Now, I don't really like lifting out with tissue paper, so what I'll do, I'll just reclip it, put it tight because it does expand. It's also very good paper for acrylic and oil, but you need to prime it with oil. But with acrylic, the acrylic becomes the primer or the sealer. We can put a little bit more blue in here. Probably a bit risky. Right, while that is drying off, we'll just talk a bit. So if I have to turn the camera or pause the camera, I have to edit it. so the less I have to do, the better. I hope you like the series of acrylics I've been doing. I'm thoroughly enjoying them, and this is just a sort of diversion from them. I've done about 50, 60 paintings in the last 4 or 5 weeks in my folder. Well, that's just drying off. I'll sort of take the weights off. That's aka big tin of emulsion paint, household, plus a big water bottle spray, just so I can get some of the creases or the ripples. I'll show you a few what I've been doing if you haven't been watching. The 2-in-1, look. 2-in-1. I'll just come out of the camera. Right, okay, so these are the sort of things I've been doing. These are they're upside down. But I like the diffuseness of these sort of paintings. Don't look at the ones on the left for a moment, or if ever. And texturing. Texturing is very important in my sort of painting. And that is a landscape. I only do landscapes. I did have a year doing Venice acrylic, oil paintings and acrylic. No, I'm talking about Venice oil paintings in 1999. But really, I wasn't that good enough. I didn't have that experience. But a lot of them sold for good sums of money too. I commissioned to do 80 paintings. I like these. This is what I want to do. But there is a limit to how many paintings like that you can do before it gets tedious, or tedious for the viewer. There's a nice panorama of an impression of a bit of Epsom Downs where the Derby is held. So that's what I've been doing. I just put this back now and put the weight back on it. Bear with me. I put a bit of MDF on it so I can stand a big tin. I can put gesso on there as well. Okay. Right, let's start working into this now. Just clip, re-clip. If you overwork this paper, you will end up with mud. But if you want, you take some of the pigment out with tissue paper to give the impression of a cloud. But I just find, if you want a cloud, just leave it a bit blank. Up to you. It's all fair in love and war. Right, let's get some distance now. I'm not going to use that lovely cadmium yellow yet. It's the best I've ever used. We want a bit of distance, so a bit of blue. Let's start here. I've done loads of it. Oh, that's not strong enough, is it? Oh no, it's not really dry enough for this. A little bit darker in there, a bit more pigment. It will vanish to us, but it's only distance. While I'm doing this, it's drying out. Now, I just guess my horizons. But if you're not confident about drawing a straight horizon, then use a ruler. I do it all by eye. Going up a little bit there. Let's just go. Yeah, we had a lovely bike ride. Right, I'm going to come down with a bit of a sort of a cliffy flair. A bit of Payne's grey, bit of this, bit of that green. So I don't use ready-mix screens. I've got them, but not in watercolour, but in acrylic and stuff. I mix my greens with cadmium yellow, pale, water light, whatever, with Payne's grey. I'm going to put some water in there. Well, some mud. These are good fun to do. It's only paper after all. And if you don't like what you've done, you can always use it the other side, or paint on it. That's what I do. Get a bit of black in there, or a bit of Payne's grey. Very useful colour, Payne's grey. And we can go over that. There's something over there, by which time I hope that the background will be fine. I've got the window open so it will dry. Probably went a bit mad there. Well, let's try another bit of that. This could be anything. It's just a painting. I might open that up a bit when it's dry. Let's take a little bit out of it. Let's go a bit of a demarcation there. Right, okay. I've got to put some trees in here, but I don't want to do that until that paper's really dry. And what you can do is get a card, plastic card, and put a few little rocks in. Right. It saves painting them. And it's easy, but it's very easy to do too much. So we'll have that there. And we'll come in here. That's a better one. We can put a little bit in here, a bit of rocky shore, something up there, something in here. Right, so I'll stop there, I'll get carried away. Or if you're new to this, I've got on YouTube, I've got over 3,000, well over 3,000 videos. Some are okay, some are not, but everything I do, unless it's really bad, I publish as for people to work out for themselves. But go back in the history, my history on YouTube, and it's all there. When I started in 2013, it was to help a friend out with her watercolours. she couldn't get to me for one Christmas, or it wasn't Christmas, in February. She was snowed in, and I was helping her with her watercolours. And that's how it all started. But you can't send a copy and paste from an SD card straight into YouTube. You have to edit it or download it onto YouTube to make a video of it, which I did. And I thought, well, that's quite easy. I'll do some more of those. And that's how I started. I didn't have any idea about it. I just see how strong that yellow is, like trying to tame it with a bit of Payne's grey. Too much water. Well, let's just put some bits of texture. Don't say detail, we just say texture. Going up the hill. A bit more of that yellow. You can use it almost neat to give a sort of a, no, just add a bit. Right. That rock there. I'll tell you the colours I'm using now, but just a bit of texturing here and there. It all gives an impression that there's a lot going on with a minimum of painting. That's well, I've never been one for detail. Now we've got this big lump here, haven't we? So let's do something with that. A couple of pine trees or 100 would do. They're very nice to do. So let's get a. I'm going to use a small hake, medium hake for this. Well, there's my palette anyway. We've got so this beautiful, powerful yellow. We've got the raw sienna, alizarin crimson, night red, ultramarine. I don't use burnt umber. It's on there in case I do a beach scene. Payne's grey and burnt sienna, which is my favourite colour. Right, so let's do a bit of greenery with the old. Let's try. Let's muck it up. It's a bit darker than that. Right, this is quite easy. Because what you do is you sort of just do some ups and downs. Do a bit of regular if you want. We can put a few up here. Get the card, just wet the brush, put some water on it. Just create an impression of it, and we can do some over the other side. Need some water on the brush though. Oh, we'll just come up here. I'm just vamping this, I'm just making it up as I'm going along. So we've got all this. So little dashes. And then we just pull that down in there. Just lose it in the murk. I really do love hakes. Years ago, when I was really getting serious about trying to learn to paint, a guy came along called Ron Ranson, who used this brush. It's gone through some incarnation since. And I watched a videotape that was circulating in the art club I joined. And said, I wasn't very good then, I'm probably not very good now, but I joined an art club that didn't make any judgments on whether I was good or not. It's what is he going to do in the future? This is where he starts, or where she starts. Because we've all got to learn, it takes a long time. There are those people like Turner that are born with an innate gift, but I haven't got it. But I just do what I do and just have fun doing it. Okay, so we've got to do something with that now. What shall we do? This paper is quite smooth. It's got a texture to it, but it's doesn't always work. But yeah, that's pretty dry now. So what I'm going to do is to put a bit of a greeny, bluey, well, to mix some palette stuff up. Then, going to obliterate that one underneath. Pull that down. So we've got some fields in there. Well, I don't like that really. A bit of burnt sienna in there. So it's light against dark all the time. Let's get something under here. See how strong that colour is, and that's mixed with whatever I mix it with paint spray. I should have used the yellow. Look, just to show you the power of it. I'll go buy some more of this. I didn't buy the last lot. It was given to me by a friend who quit painting in favour of writing a novel. So there you go. Very grateful for all the paints that I inherited. I'll get some rocks in there. Now you can see some cauliflowers here and there. That's to be expected with this paper. Oh, that's sort of out of the tube really. There's some of this stuff here. But it's so strong you don't need to use much of it. I will just go down here. Just add that nice tube paint. Let's put some in here. A lot of grasses in this lake, or whatever it is. Rubbish you don't like. Well, that is a bit interesting. All right. Going to put some sky colour across here. And into that we can put in a little bit of reflection. Okay, I think that's all we need there. Can put some trees in here. Do we really need trees in there? So we've got these hills here. Maybe we could. Maybe let's go for it. Put a bit of blue and a bit of that yellow. So you want blue. We can have that coming down into the landscape. I can hear something. Oh, I've got an idea. It's going to rain. Hold on. It isn't. It's very nice and warm. No, I don't think so. Probably just some spots have landed on the dust on my windows. Let's just do a bit here. Oh, just making it up. Give it some shape. A bit of darker green in there. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Right, okay, well, put some birds in and then we'll call that done. I'll go and watch tennis. Is anyone? Because we've got Wimbledon at the moment, and we don't live very far from Wimbledon. Probably, as a crow flies, probably about 5-6 miles. There we are. I don't know whether that's excuse me. That's gone wrong a little bit there. But this painting, this paper is a little bit predictable, and I don't usually do anything quite as green as that. But how green is your valley? How green is thy valley? Right, I'll just go out. Oops. I'll put it in a mount. A bit of masking tape, just to stop it from falling down the board. And I'll just put that on there. Whoops. And I'll put the large. I'll show you something else before I do. I started. This is an A4 version of the large book I showed you earlier. I bought 2 of these, so I'm working to fill them to be used as reference material for whatever. These are acrylic, and you put a bit of masking tape around, but make sure you take great care taking it off, because you can pull the surface of the paper off. It's only cartridge paper. It's 140 grams weight. The main book, the big book, is 150, but it's great for painting on. And it's really £5 of each one. Not my river, but it was inspired by my river Wandle. Well, these couple, look. Just having fun with paint, really. But I do enjoy acrylic painting. I never used to. But using it not as watercolour, but as a well, it's sort of a lot of it's semi-transparent, and you can just work over it, and then it's dry, just go over it again. So if you've got any interest, if you haven't seen me paint these, and you've got any interest in that type of painting, which is detail free, I don't like detail. I've got a hair on it. Right, let's go out. Move it that way a bit. No, it's a bit too difficult. With the camera. Bear with me. I just pushed. Oh. I've got a. Sorry, just close your eye. I think. No. It's a boom, but for some reason it's got very stiff. And my mate Fred Gillespie, who made it for me, sadly died a couple of months ago. Oh dear. Might have to lightly sand it and just oh. Oh, that's better. Sorry about this. Let's do it up again. He made it out of he was an engineer and sign writer, brilliant, one of our finest watercolour painters, landscapes. He had a workshop with lathes and drills, so on, and he could make anything out of metal. Oh, well, there we are. So we've got a sort of a hilly. The hills are alive with green, something like that. So we've got a little bit down here. no detail. Just these look like detail, but they've just sketched in. Anyway, I hope you like it, folks. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.